Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from Redolessence and welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for joining me today. Happy weekend if you are indeed watching this video on the day that I publish it. And in today's episode, we're going to be taking a closer look at one of the newest releases by the company Dua Fragrances, and this one is called Another 13 Shades, so make sure to stay tuned. Before I begin my fragrance review of Another 13 Shades by Dua Fragrances, I do want to mention that if you are a fan of fragrance-related content, if you like fragrance reviews here on YouTube just like this, but also top 10 videos, giveaways, unboxings, special guests, and more, please do consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. All you have to do is click on that red subscribe button, and while you're at it, make sure to enable notifications by clicking on the bell icon. So as I'm sure you know, the company Dua Fragrances specializes in creating what they like to call inspired expressions, which are basically clones of more popular and oftentimes really hard to find niche and designer fragrances. A lot of times they will try to resurrect designer fragrances or niche fragrances from time to time. These are fragrances that have been reformulated or discontinued, and so they kind of seek to resurrect or bring back to life these fragrances so that people can enjoy these memories once again. They create hybrids as well as they also have originals, but this one here is actually an inspired expression or a clone of a really popular fragrance by the company Labo. I shouldn't really say really popular because it is kind of under the radar, but the people who love it, they really love this one, and it's called Another 13. So of course this one is called Another 13 Shades, and the original Labo fragrance was actually a combination of a lot of synthetic ingredients. I believe all of the ingredients in here are synthetic. It also has a pear note in there, and it was a collaboration that they did with another magazine, and it was available in Cologne, which is the department store in France. I believe the department store closed in 2017, and since then this has become a lot more widely available, and so this fragrance is their twist or their interpretation of that fragrance. And so I'm excited to tell you what I get from the smell. Let's start things off with the presentation. So on the front of the box, you'll see that it has this Dua logo here. The side of the box has the concentration written on the spine, and the back has all your ingredients. On the inside, you will find a description on the brand, and the bottle rests in there on the right-hand side. And the bottle has this oceanic graphic here on the front, and then on the side, you have Another 13 Shades. The cap for this fragrance does click into place very securely, so you can pick it up from the cap. And the distribution on the atomizer is very wide. Let's continue with the smell. So in the opening of this fragrance, you are going to get that combination of synthetic ingredients, and it's a lot of familiar molecules. So you have isoe super, you have ambroxan, you have a few other ingredients that are a bit on the harder side to pronounce. So I'm not really going to get into all of the technical ingredients, but just know that there are 13 ingredients in here, hence Another 13, right? Which is the name of the Le Labo fragrance. And that's kind of how Le Labo does it. They name their fragrances after the most concentrated note, and now in this one, because it's a collaboration with another magazine, they just named it Another. And then 13, which is the number in the name of the fragrance, denotes how many ingredients are found in that fragrance. So there are 13 ingredients in total, but it opens up with that combination of isoe super and ambroxan. There's a bit of a freshness to it, and I believe that that's coming from the ambroxan. There's also another fragrance by the company Zara. I believe it's called Ambrox. I think I did a video on it, and that was Zara's take on Another 13. This one is a night and day difference because the performance on this one is really, really good. So I just had to get that out there. But it has that freshness in the opening. There's also isoe super, which is a little green, a little vetiver-like, a little musky as well. And in a lot of fragrances, especially Molecule 01 by Eccentric Molecules, I'm sure you've heard of it. Many people have heard of that fragrance. That is said to have like a pheromone-like effect. And I personally like to use it for layering purposes, just to sort of add that je ne sais quoi, if you will, to your olfactory wardrobe. So this has that green, musky, clean, fresh, slightly oceanic feel in the opening. but there's that unquestionably fruity aroma that is coming from the pear note. And I feel like that's the saving grace of the fragrance, you know? I think the other ingredients create this abstract aroma, and that's kind of what they were going for from the very beginning. But I feel like the pear gives us something that we can really cling on to, something that we can latch onto, and a familiar aroma that we can really appreciate in this blend. So you are going to get that fruitiness, you're going to get the freshness, something green lingering in the base, and I think it's a very well put together fragrance, but keep in mind it will be on the abstract and obscure side, so you're not really going to be able to compare it to any other fragrance that you've tried. And I think that that's one of the unique points of this fragrance, but also the original as well, is that it does come across very quirky and unique and avant-garde. And I have tried the original. I have a sample of the original that I purchased from a decanting site many years ago. I've also smelled it on other people, and of course I have Zara's interpretation, but what I can say is this is the best one because the performance on this one is also incredible. And I would imagine this was probably one of the easiest fragrances to clone, only 13 ingredients, most of them being synthetic, therefore they are widely available, and so very well done on this one. And yes, it does smell pretty much identical to the original. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, of course this is not a unique fragrance because it is a clone of a more popular niche fragrance, but the overall smell is very pleasant. I know there are a lot of fragrances by the company Labo that are a little bit difficult to wear. So there's Oud 27, which I own, Queer 18, which I own. There's also a Labdanum offering, which is a little bit on the animalic side, a Maurice Roussel composition, excuse me. That one I also own and I purchased many Le Labo fragrances throughout the years, but this is definitely one of the easier to get along with DNAs, despite the fact that it is a little bit on the abstract side. In terms of the longevity, 10 plus hours. It's concentrated at Extrait de Parfum strength. I believe the concentration of aromatic compounds is 33%. The projection of this one is really good for the first hour and a half to 2 hours. It didn't become a skin scent until about that 8-hour mark. So this one will really pop and radiate off your skin. Performance is very good on this one. Versatility is good for all year round. I feel like this would make for a great casual fragrance. I feel like this is such a quirky aroma that it would make for a really good signature scent. If you really want to stand out, smell unique, you want to wear something that you can pretty much guarantee and bank on that nobody else is wearing out there. So it has that level of uniqueness about it, which I really appreciate. I feel like it's perfectly unisex, and I can see somebody young wearing this one, and in addition to somebody who's a little bit older as well. And the presentation on this one, I like the sort of aquatic, oceanic feel to the bottle. Although you might be expecting more citrus, or you might be expecting like a salty overtone, and I don't necessarily get that in this fragrance. I feel like this is more on the side of fresh and musky, but nevertheless, my final verdict on another 13 shades is that it is a spot-on interpretation of Le Labo's offering, which I don't think was too difficult to do, but this one does last a very long time. And if you are looking for a fragrance that has that abstract quality about it, if you're looking for a mostly synthetic but yet very pleasant smelling fragrance with nuances of pear, definitely check this one out. I think it'll be to your liking, and I'm personally enjoying this one too. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching my video. I really do appreciate it. That was my fragrance review of another 13 shades by Dua Fragrances. If you own or have tried this fragrance, the original fragrance, or any other fragrance from this brand, please let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Also, please don't forget to subscribe if you are new to this channel and you took something of value from this video, and remember to enable notifications by clicking on the bell. Thanks again for watching. Love you all, and we'll see you next time.